So, another one of the things that I had done that helped me after the events that had happened was just exercising. I started walking pretty regularly on a daily basis. I was walking anywhere between 15,000, 25,000 steps. I had days where I was hitting 30, 35,000 on really long walks because I realized after I started doing it a little bit how much better I had felt just doing a little bit here and there. At first, it wasn't a lot of really big walks. It was 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there in the morning, in the evening. And I noticed just doing that, I started to feel better. So I looked it up and found that when you are doing exercise, uh, your muscles not only release certain acids that make you feel worse, but they also release hormones and endorphins and chemicals that make you feel better. They release a lot of feel good chemicals that will help you push on longer and just walk as long as you're not dwelling on it. If you're staying in the right state of mind while you're walking. And what I had found out is the best state for me was a brisk walk. Once I got accustomed to it, do like a power walk. For me, that was 3.5 miles an hour of just consistent walking. Now, I would listen to music, and the main thing that I would do on these walks was process information. And by that, I mean the stuff that I was going through, other things that had arisen that I figured out that I had suppressed, and I was processing that. And just thinking about, what people call shadow work, the real problems I had. I always did it when I was walking. That's something I've done majority of my life. I just never realized the benefits until recently. Now, looking it up and figuring out a little bit more about just walking and processing information, it does a lot for you. What it does when you're walking is the two halves of your brain are firing simultaneously back and forth because one side controls one side and the other side controls the other. So once you get to a steady state of movement, they are firing back and forth simultaneously and pairing up, basically, in my opinion. And not only if you do that, you process your information, which engages the prefrontal cortex and a few other portions of the brain. And then I listen to music, usually higher beat per minute music, and that helps keep me in the right state of mind when I'm walking. Because if you can just kind of think about it, let your thoughts flow, and stay in the moment, walk to the point that you're basically on autopilot, it helps you because you're running so many things in your mind simultaneously. It helps with neuroplasticity and it helps form new neural pathways in your brain. And if you do it consistently enough, I believe it will help with processing information. Now, I bring this up because walking, stretching, there'd be times that I'd just do like drills from school, do some high knees, or just stand there and do some twists, or shake my body out, or there's other little things that I found that really helped a lot to help release tension too, because your muscles hold on to your stress, they hold on to a lot of tension, and it depends on where you hold it, on what kind of stress it is, from my understanding. Now, if you can keep your body consistently exercising, consistently stretching and moving, and it's constantly releasing these feel good chemicals, you will notice that it doesn't hurt as bad. It seems kind of like obvious. You start walking, you can walk more easier. And that's because your body's releasing more and more chemicals, and that's not something that's really discussed. There's a lot of benefits to just walking, especially early in the morning and later in the evening when the sun's coming up, when the sun's going down, getting those early morning rays of sunlight, on you and your eyes, because it does help with a lot of stuff that's not talked about. Helps with your circadian rhythm, helps with your, I want to say vitamin D production, especially through the eyes. That's why, like, a lot of people, if they wear sunglasses a lot, they get burnt because your eyes are what process the sun and tells your body, hey, the sun's bright out, let's put some melanin in the skin so we don't burn to a crisp. And if you're wearing sunglasses, it doesn't ever tell the body, hey, we need this, so you get burnt. So just walking that first little bit in the morning, a little bit at night, no glasses on, no sunglasses on, just go out, go for a walk. Like 30-minute walk, whatever you can do, makes a big difference. And stretching on top of that. I started stretching in the mornings and the evenings. There's a saying that the motion's the lotion. And it makes a lot more sense now, knowing that your muscles aren't only making chemicals that make it hurt and make it, be a little stiff, but it's also releasing a lot of chemicals that will help you keep walking and keep moving. Because I've had times where my longest continuous walk was 6 miles almost, and that took me about 4 hours. I was walking down this hiking trail, my music in, and staying roughly at a power walk the whole time. I walked straight about 6 miles, 5 miles, stopped, checked out this river for about 15 minutes, and then turned around and walked back up the trail, back to my car so I could leave. And I didn't feel much fatigue. I wasn't really tired, and I power walked the whole time. And I believe it's because I was just in the right state of mind, processing information. And when you're doing that and you're not thinking about the thing, the movement you're actually doing, the body just releases endorphins to say, hey, he's not even thinking about what he's doing. We're walking, we're doing this, we're doing that. Let's just release some endorphins and some chemicals to make sure that he keeps doing what he's doing and don't realize it, and keep going. Because I believe we don't get enough exercise now. If you look at videos and all the president's tests, physical tests that they used to do in school, we're not near as active as a society or as we used to be. So just getting out and getting that little bit of extra exercise makes a big difference, not only physically, but mentally.